Hi, it's Jay from Iridescent Tarot, back with some more sparkle for you. So today I wanted to do a little look through and pairings for the Yukika Tarot. This is a new Kickstarter deck from Stasia Yukika Burrington. So the deck is named after Stasia's middle name, which means happy flower in Japanese. Stasia is a Japanese-American artist who created this deck out of ink and watercolor. Here's the inside of the box, super beautiful. There are so many holographic elements to this that I love. Here's the inside. Oh my gosh, just beautiful colors. A magic machine for the in-between. Here's the guidebook. We have a brief history, a couple of spreads, right into the majors. Here's the minors. They have just as much info as the majors, which is great, and a little bit about the artist. This is the creator of the much beloved Sasuraibito Tarot. That's a deck that I had for many, many years, ended up rehoming. It's just like more of a dark aesthetic, so like the red backs and all that just really wasn't my aesthetic, but this is way more my vibe. There are 2 extra cards here, and it is Wonder and Wild. And I won't be incorporating these into the deck, but I like having extra cards to put on my fridge. The backs, gorgeous. I mean, I don't like red, orange, yellow, but this is like an exception. The edges are this beautiful holographic light pink color. So we're gonna do a quick walkthrough here. Here we have the Fool. Beautiful colors, just love that. Magician. The Druid. So this starts us into the world of some of the renamings here, and I can't say that I love the renamings. Also, I have a hard time with decks that feature people in jeans. However, I will say that this deck might be the only exception that I actually don't mind that much. The storytellers. So it's hard because some of them make sense to me. Like, I think that the storytellers for the Hierophant makes sense, and this image is just so gorgeous, and I love that. But like the Ward and the Matrix and the Druid don't really ring true to me. It's hard when you don't know where the renamings come from. And when you look to the guidebook for guidance on some of the renamings and there's not anything that really makes that link, it can just be kind of tough. So the Lovers here, there's a couple of cards in the deck that feature either skeletons or kind of body anatomy type looking illustrations, and I really love those. So I might put this aside just so we can take a look at all of those in a vacuum. Tenacity here, I don't know. Like the renamings is the Barbarian, I don't get that one either. I think it's hard for me. The Wanderer for the Hermit. Here's another one of those little skeletons there. Flow. Justice. I love this card. Suspension, very much looking like the Death card in Discovering Beauty. Death. This is such a beautiful depiction. Here's another one. So for Temperance, what I see here is like veins and arteries and how they work together in order to keep our blood flowing. I'm gonna put that aside too. I don't know. I struggle when there's like masked figures. The Tower. At first, I didn't even see that there was a face down here, and I just saw the skeleton and the moon. And so I like when there's artwork that you can, the longer that you gaze at it, get other things coming out. Like maybe at first you didn't notice that there's faces here that are looking up towards the sun. So I just kind of like visual, what do you call it? Like when your eye plays tricks on you in artwork, I really like that. Judgment, I feel like, I think this might have been one of the only cards that has like a fully white background, so it stands out a little bit to me. I just wish that it had a little bit more color, because I like the concept of the Judgment being like a shield, discernment, boundaries. Like, I think that's different and interesting. I just would have liked to see it blend in with the rest of the deck more, maybe. The World, I put a little washi tape over her. The Ace of Swords is the only card in the deck that I feel like really doesn't have a full story behind it. It's just kind of like a sword, and I guess it could be like cutting through this background, but the rest of them are all very story based. Like you can create a story for this character. You can see different things happening, and that sword is the only one that's just like a sword. So I just wish that it had a little bit more continuity for that one card. This reminds me of one of the cards from the Sasuraibito. I'm not sure exactly which card it is. Maybe it's the same, the Six of Swords, but it was one of the cards that I really liked and had, you know, trouble giving up from that deck when I did move it on. Some of the colors that Stasia used in this deck are just so stunning and beautiful. I do wish that the borders, it was either borderless or just a little bit narrower on the bottom to kind of match the rest of the borders. I think like this really thick border at the bottom does distract just a little bit. Like beautiful. This tells a story, this Ace of Stone. Like just because it's an ace doesn't mean that it has to be bare bones. The jewels that they used in the stone suit are so gorgeous. Like, I love them. I don't mind the renaming of the suit of pentacles to stones because I find that to be a very intuitive renaming, whereas the renaming in the majors just don't make sense to me. If the majors didn't have the number, I would be really lost. So the way that they came, the courts were page, knight, king, and queen, but I kind of get confused with that because does that mean that you read the queens as the king, or are we still reading the queens as queen energy? Like that also kind of throws me off. Like I get what we're trying to do with removing some of the hierarchy or changing that around, but it just confuses me like in the reading aspect of how it's supposed to work. Here's another one of those. See, that's a beautiful representation of the Ace of Wands. I want something like that for the sword. One of the things I like about this deck is it has that element of social justice to it. Like I had the New World Tarot and I really enjoyed the color scheme of that, but the illustration style with like, it was just too modern. This still has that going on, but it's not as overt in the imagery. And so I find it visually more enjoyable to read with. I love this 10 of Wands, love. Like, look at the keywords. This is such an evocative image, like the Knight of Wands. You don't even need to really know what's going on to know what this card is trying to tell you. So we have wands, stones, swords, and cups. So only one of the suits is renamed, which is good. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm surprised that Stasia didn't just rename the court cards because they were so lenient with the major titles. Two of Cups, another one of those skeletal. This also reminds me of Sasuraibito. I think the Six of Cups might be my favorite card in this whole deck. Rainbows and butterflies. Got the unicorn. I love this. I want a print of that so bad. Nine of Cups too, looking like she's luxuriating in a bathtub. 10 of Cups, beautiful. It did come with a little marketing card with just this little snippet here, and I love that. Knight of Cups, he's so sweet. I love this card. Okay. So here we have all of the kind of anatomical looking cards. We've got the Two of Cups, sharing in their little tea ceremony here. It's almost like their souls are the things that are connecting. Let's see what the guidebook says. Friendship, symbiosis, bond, a thriving relationship, a mutual nurturing, a sharing of experience, meeting equally with respect and tenderness, collaboration, chemistry, to feed and water each other, to become stronger and softer together. It's like loosely connected to the image. I wish there was a little bit more connection there. Let's do King of Stone. King of Stone, the ghost, inheritance, abundance, transience, to leave a legacy, to leave things better than you found them, to decompose into nutrients for those who come after, to be a good ancestor, to leave a kind ghost, ghosts of generosity, curiosity, celebration, and revolution, to fully inhabit the physical world and body, to recognize impermanence, to love it while it's here, to build and rebuild, to dismantle, to regrow, to be remembered in a way that feeds. Ooh, okay. So that one definitely resonates more, the guidebook and the image. Temperance, balance, harmony, respect, a meeting of difference, respect for other viewpoints, to have humility, to meet in the middle, to temper, to join in a gradual way so as to blend without fracture. Slow and gentle, mindful, to make a custard without splitting, to feel the overlap, shared space, to blend and be fluid. Yeah, and you can see here that the hermit is kind of just floating in this body of water, but they're reflected themselves up here in the stars. And the Lovers. I just thought that this little selection of cards was interesting. Let's do a shuffle. So the cardstock isn't described on the Kickstarter page. I kind of thought that it might be rose petal when I was ordering it, but it's definitely not. It's kind of this very average cardstock. I can't say that it's on par with some of my other indie cardstocks. It just has this feel that's like a little bit waxy, like it almost feels mass markety, but it's definitely not as bad as some of the decks that I've had in the past. It's not super flexible, but it is able to riffle. No bridge, zero bridge here. I think the overhand is nice though. Like they slide over one another nicely. So, the Wanderer. Let's see what the guidebook says. The Wanderer, the Hermit. Retreat, introspection, shift. To float in a body of water, self-reflected above. Stars, rain, ripples, stitch sky and water together. What wilderness is yet explored, which comforts to leave in search of yourself. To transcend the known and forge into uncharted territory. To be curious, to invite a radical turn of the kaleidoscope. Okay, let's do a little bit of pairing up here. This is the Uncertain Oracle. This was a Christmas present from my husband. So I'm excited to see these together. We've got the matching up of the watercolor elements. I kind of like the different shape going on. Yeah, these look good to me. I love them. The colors are very complementary. I could see like just kind of finding a way to pull the different colors and like intertwining the meanings here, because this looks like the lily pads are in this friend color, but then the rest of the card is this visitation color. So I don't know, I could see myself kind of finding a way to weave that into my readings. Really cool. Here we have Roots and Wings. This is the cardstock that I wish that Yukika was on. It's just luscious, thin, flexible rose petal cardstock that I think would have complemented the artwork so much more. But I think these look great together too. Maybe because the Roots and Wings has a lot of the white space, it kind of plays in well with the large border. It actually works in its advantage. And then I like the handwritten titles at the bottom. Okay, if I was questioning whether Roots and Wings was gonna stay, just for this pairing alone, I feel like I would keep it. Oh, I love them together. Yes, that's great. Spirit Kittens, I match with everything anyways, but I feel like they would go super well. Yeah, I like these together too. Majesty and Intuition with the Six of Wands. Five of Wands with Catalyst and Illumination. King of Swords with Balance and Mischief. Okay, I love it. Love, love, love. Oh, I'm getting really excited. All right, this is the Soulspace Oracle. And again, this is one that matches with any watercolor deck. I would totally use these together. Yep. Love. Pocket Archetypes. Yes. Oh boy. I feel like my pairings have been on fire lately. My Blue Earth Tarot, I just like loved all of those pairings too. And this is very exciting as well. Yes. I mean, I know if Roots and Wings goes well, that Faces and Force is gonna go well too, but I still wanna see it. Faces is a little bit busy, but I don't dislike this. And I would only pair one oracle card because I like using the questions at the bottom to prompt my tarot reading. So, Bloomin' Lovelies for craps and gigs, just to see, hear me out. Nah, she never fails. Yes, look at that. This orange up here and the green down here. Ah, I love this. Yep, cool. All right, we're back on action. Back in action, baby. I love this. Okay. So that was my walkthrough of the Yukika Tarot. I'm very pleased with it. I really like it. I've done a few readings since it's arrived last week, and yeah, I think that it's a great reader so far, and the artwork is stunning, and I'm excited to use it. Like, I think that there's a couple of things that could have been improved upon, but overall, very, very happy with this purchase. And then if anyone's wondering what the nail polish is, I have made a promise to myself to stop buying polishes that have any kind of green reflection in them because they just never look good on me. But I already gave this polish away to a friend, and I'm not wearing perfume today, so I got nothing to share with you there. But let's leave it on my favorite card. These two are just like... I kind of wish the whole deck looked like this, but then it's not realistic to tarot, right? Like, we need some darkness with the light. And Stasia does a great job at balancing the dark and the light. This color palette is way more my style than Sasuraibito. So I'm truly happy to have this in my collection and excited to see where the work will take us. I will talk to you later. Signing out.